Good evening, everybody. This is Mike Monty, one half of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. We're produced out of Indie Music TV in New York. That's Ron Conkema, New York. Yes, again, that's Indie Music TV. You could also catch us on RTF Sports Network. That's RTF Sports Network, the #1 growing streaming sports network on the air today. Catch us every Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Yes, we're their anchor show. And catch our rerun on a morning drive time from 10 to 11 a.m. You could also catch us on the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube page, the Facebook Live Monty and the Pharaoh page, Twitch TV Monty and the Pharaoh page, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, or any streaming network. We're on it. You can find us anywhere. Also catch us on New York Cable, Channel 115, every Tuesday from 8:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Also catch us Saturday mornings on Channel 115 from 6 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. And catch us Saturday morning at 1:30 a.m. on Channel 20. Soon we'll be coming to Amazon, so catch us there also. We want to thank everybody for the support. And again, please catch us every Thursday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., Monty the Pharaoh, Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, new, old, endangered, and let's have a little fun. Talk to you soon.
Hey, it's me, WWE Hall of Famer from the LOD, Road Warrior Animal. And you.
Yeah, I gotta do this when? Now? I'm watching a match. What is now? Now is it? Oh, now. Yeah. Thanks. Hey, this is the Pharaoh from Monty and the Pharaoh. I just want to say thank you to our subscribers as we now have hit the 10,000 plateau. Thank you to all our subscribers out there. But I'm going to ask our subscribers to take the next step for us and become a full-fledged YouTube Monty and the Pharaoh member. Yes, that's right, folks. You can check it out. We've got 3 different levels. There's free shirts. There's free autographs. There's all sorts of perks for our members. There is nothing more we enjoy than giving you this program. And to do that, we need your support, and we appreciate your support. This is Jimmy Pharaoh, and don't forget to check out Monty and the Pharaoh every Thursday from Indie Music TV and on Cablevision here locally in New York. Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh. Later. Is that good enough for you? Can I finish this? Lesnar's killing him. I'm pissed.
And we'll be right
All right, welcome to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty DeFaro, seen here every Thursday at 9 p.m. out of Indie Music TV in Ronkonkoma, Long Island. Matty Ice at the board, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great as always. How are you?
All right, man. Always glad to see you, and I'm going to see you Saturday morning as we're going to have Money Inc. in studio from 10 a.m. till 12. Ted DiBiase and Mike Rotundo. I'm a little froggy. To the right, the star of the show, Jimmy Farrell. What's up, brother?
Yep, back again. What's going on?
How you feeling?
Oh, man, I'm in pain today.
What's going on?
There's something wrong with my neck.
Got a little neck problem happening?
Yeah. It's like all numb and tingly over here.
I was thinking maybe
good.
Gangrel from Sunday might have bit your neck. You might feel like...
I should have picked another body part. No, we're good. Besides, vampires eat fruit cups.
Vampires eat fruit cups.
They eat fruit cups. I saw one. I saw a vampire eating a fruit cup. It was different. It was different.
Listen, so we got to clear the air on some stuff before we get to Tony Atlas is going to clear what's going on with his mind. We'll be dialing up Tony shortly.
Fair enough.
But let's talk about a little bit of, we were discussing before the show, King Kong versus Godzilla has come up on HBO.
We're going to do
and
this
I want
right
the fans
away,
out there to understand, if you root for Godzilla,
Stop!
it's friggin' un-American, people.
God.
Come on, let's get realistic
you're
here.
Playing the snowflake race card on Godzilla. What is wrong with you?
Dude, why are you so, anti-Kong?
I'm not anti-Kong.
Why are you so
I'm just pro Godzilla. I've always been a Godzilla first guy, and I'm learning later on in life that I'm a lousy American for doing such. You've guilted me. What's going on here? Why is it wrong to like Godzilla more than King Kong? What makes me unpatriotic? I pay my taxes. I sing the Star Spangled Banner. I know the words.
I understand.
You know.
I understand.
So what's the issue? Just because I find Godzilla to be much more of a badass than King Kong. It's just
because
me.
you were making King Kong to turn out to feel like he's a wimp.
Well, if you throw shots at Godzilla, my inner Zilla will come out.
I can't even believe that you call him Zilla.
I love Zilla. Well, actually, that's my nickname for him, but Zilla now technically is known as that 1998 Matthew Broderick bomb that came out.
Terrible.
The iguana is known as Zilla nowadays. But, he was always Zilla to me before the iguana showed up in 98. Oh, well.
I hear you.
You know.
So the fans are in a tizzy about the Peacock Network. It's really knocking out material from the 1988-98 Raw segment.
Right.
And they're knocking out all the old, not the old school stuff, but the Attitude Era stuff. And they knocked out the Piper thing. What are your feelings on that whole thing?
I got to side with, and you know what? It was kind of refreshing to hear on WFAN here in New York, Evan Roberts, who's a pro wrestling fan, going off on this subject, while Carton looked at him like, who cares? My sandwich is delicious today. He could care less about pro wrestling. And there's Evan Roberts going, and I agreed with him. He goes, I, as the paying adult consumer, know exactly what I'm purchasing when I purchase the WWE Network. Don't censor my pro wrestling.
Well,
so I'm pretty angry about it too. You might as well take most of the Attitude Era now and flag it. I mean, come on, man. And where's the WWE to go to Peacock? I guess they got their money. Who cares? But go to. What are you doing? That's part of our history. What are you doing?
But let me ask you this: You're the Peacock Network. You've rented the WWE Network.
I guess it's their right.
5 years.
Right.
You want to make sure you don't offend anybody, right? Because you don't want people dropping subscriptions. So you got to understand where they're coming from.
I mean, what do they think they purchased? You know. I mean, if you purchased the Black Sabbath catalog, the odds are that there might be some controversial material in there.
Is there a big,
to some,
but
not
is
me.
It a big deal to not have the Piper Bad News Brown match? I mean,
no,
really,
I'm okay with that. I mean,
I
get that part, but some of that stuff was absolutely not meant in. Some of it doesn't have to be censored. Let's see what they do with it. Let's see how much more we wind up going. Wait a minute, what happened to Trish Stratus's cleavage?
Yeah, well, I heard they're also blurring out the Stone Cold middle finger.
Oh no! Now we're going too far.
I've got the Peacock Network though. It's a much more difficult to maneuver around than the WWE.
I hate it.
It's not.
So far, I hate it. I did get it.
Oh, you did.
I did. I persevered and I got it. And the first thing
it's actually cheaper than a network.
Yeah, but here's the problem. The first thing I went to look for, because we're a couple of fossils, I went to look for All Star Wrestling, and it's not there. It'll be around in like 6 to 8 months. I don't trust you. I'm not so sure we're going to get a lot of that classic material that we had on the old network.
But you got the Young Rock.
Oh, I'm so Well, outside of Sheiky Baby, am I really?
Sheiky Baby's pouring himself out to every podcast
Sheiky Baby
out there, man. He's on
Sheiky
every
Baby. How could you do that?
Baby
You make us look like Jabroni. Batou.
I'm done with Sheiky Baby.
Come on,
Guy's on every fucking podcast out there.
God, that's terrible.
Oh my God, our friend superstar Billy Graham posted recently, jinxed and haunted by a child. This is what Billy had to say, fans. Hello, fans. As you can see with your own eyes on this program, it is obvious that I, an adult male, was replaced by a mere child that looked like he was still growing through puberty. Every time I heard Backlund whisper into the microphone held by Vince Jr. and call it a promo, I'd get physically ill. From the explosion to a barely audible, well, Vince, I will do my best, I would say to myself, and this child's going to replace me? The fix was in. And yes, it was a dark cloud over my sellout after sellout at MSG and other arenas.
Dark cloud.
I have nothing more to say about this disgraceful debacle. Superstar Billy Graham. Thoughts?
Really? You really want the thoughts on this?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, he was referring to the program when he says, as you could see with your own eyes, this was one of those classic programs that would come out every month at the Garden. And he's referring to Backlund as a child, as basically a boy. This child is going to replace me. Well, here's the best part. And we talked about this earlier on the phone. Here's a couple of facts for you, superstar Billy Graham. Bob Backlund was the headline main event champion at the Madison Square Garden, and we watched it sell out one time after another for almost 6 years. Okay? His resume speaks for itself. Secondly, as we all know, and Backlund confirmed, and as you know too, superstar, you know it, that this child would have beat your ass in. For real.
Right.
If you had a problem behind the scenes and you were going to try to pull some shit when it was your time to do the job to Bob, he would have beat your ass if you would try to do anything else. I don't know what his problem is nowadays. It's sad to see him do stuff like this. Backlund respects him. Backlund talked about him in a respectful tone.
Did you think he respected him from the book?
I think he respected him enough. He told the truth. Does that make him, a dick? I don't think so. I thought Backlund told the truth with the utmost grace you possibly can when you're talking about someone else having a problem with you becoming champion.
Sure.
I don't think he sat there and bashed him. He was even grateful to him for their initial first conversation that got Bob thinking about wrestling in the first place. I thought Bob was very respectful. He wasn't calling him the names that I'm hearing here. This child, this boy, basically, I don't agree. I don't know why he has to do this late in his life here, talk this way. It doesn't make him look very good, quite honestly. The fix was in. The fix was. It's wrestling. The fix is in. I can't anymore.
Did superstar Billy Graham? I didn't even look this up, and I should have. Do you think he really sold out every one of his main events?
Look, I think he did great, but the point is, do you really think that was going to last another 6-7 years? I don't think so.
That's the bigger problem. That's the bigger problem.
He thinks that his gimmick would have stayed that way forever, and I don't believe it at all.
Turned him face, it wouldn't have lasted.
And a great point you made to me too. If that gimmick was so damn great, then how come he withered like a after those days of being champion?
Agreed.
Where was his heavyweight? Where was his NWA heavyweight title? Where was his AWA heavyweight title? Why didn't he just turn around and go, "Well, I'm a main event guy. I'll show you." Because when AJ Styles knew he was a main event guy in TNA, he knew it. He had to go somewhere else. Goes to Japan, main event guy. Goes to WWE, main event guy.
Right.
AJ Styles has more staying power. What are we talking about here? I don't know, man. I think what's disgraceful is saying these sorts of things about Bob.
Rob Delaney says out there, they dropped the ball not making superstar champ.
Who's they?
I don't know.
Who dropped the ball?
Well, the WWE did make him champ.
He was champ.
Now, if he's trying to say
and
that
he beat
they should have
Bruno.
let him stay face, and
interesting.
I
could have gotten another year or two.
Disagree. I don't think he was.
Could have gotten another year or two, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Vince D says out there, Superstar was not a good wrestler. No, but he had it.
No, he did have it.
People wanted to see him.
He absolutely had a killer look. He could talk killer. He had it factor.
Listen, Vince Sr. knew what he was doing.
He could tell a good tale in the ring. He put the strap
on Backlund. It made sense. Look, guys, the WWE ran their business with the faces champion, bring in the bad guys, rotate them out. They weren't a traveling band like the NWA back in the day, where your bad guy champion would take on the face of your
go from town to town, town to town. And you know what else gets lost in this? Because this is the days before kayfabe. Bob Backlund was a legitimate athlete.
Yeah.
And that did play into his aura. I don't know if people at home that didn't see that time period realized that. That was a huge part of his aura. A former national champion who you knew could pin somebody in a second. And his strength was ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Ridiculous. Off the charts.
I would like to thank the band that sings the theme song for the Monty and the Pharaoh Show, our own Jimmy Farrow, along with his partner Bart Griggs, who we call the greatest songwriter in American history.
What is going on?
As part of the band Wisteria Hall. Wisteria Hall sings such great songs as In My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind, and Here Comes the Rain. You can find their music on Spotify, iTunes, and Reverb Nation. And I'm asking the fans out there, please go to the Wisteria Hall YouTube page. Give it a thumbs up. Please give it a like. Subscribe if you want. Greatly to support that band. This is the Monty and the Pharaoh Show. If you didn't know that, you could see Monty and the Pharaoh on the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube page, the Monty and Pharaoh Facebook Live page. I am twisting my words. Hear us on the iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor. See us on Twitch TV, Monty and the Pharaoh. And channel 115 every Tuesday from 7 to 7:30. That's New York cable. Every Saturday from 6 a.m. to 6:30 on channel 115. And on channel 20, just a few hours from now, on Friday from 1 a.m. to 1:30.
Oh, lovely.
Coming up, we will be dialing up WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas. Again, we are diving into this local pool.
Okay.
If anyone doesn't know, and there's a lot of people out there that do know, Tony posted that he's no longer going to appear on, I believe, the Boston Wrestling Federation page. I don't know if I'm naming it right.
Okay.
There was some sort of falling out. I know that the host is saying that there was a no-show going on with Tony. Again, I don't know everything that's going on.
Right.
Larry Love, what's up, brother? Thank you for joining us. Ricky B, again, thank you for joining us. Springer, Ure Springer, thank you for joining us. Marty Greenfield, thank you for joining us. I know what Tony told me. But it doesn't make sense for me to repeat what Tony told me, so I asked Tony to come on, and he told me, Monty, because he's a friend of the show.
Sure.
He said this is the one and only time I'm going to speak about this situation.
Okay.
All right? So I know the people want to hear. I just ask everybody to be respectful, and I know you are. And we're going to go to a quick commercial break. I'm going to make sure dial up Tony, make sure the sound is good so everybody could hear. Please get your questions in for Tony after he tells the story. I will certainly do that. Marty Greenfield, you're saying that Pete Sanchez was a good wrestler. One of our favorites.
Pete Sanchez.
I'll be right back after this commercial break. You might have to run on a little. You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence. Collision Specialists. 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence.
Jeff Quest, graphics design, custom vinyl lettering, and all your art and video needs. 516-317-8204. That's for Jeff Quest, graphic design. The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I gotta take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV every Thursday at 9 p.m. to 10 p.m.?
Yeah, that's us. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Last I checked.
All right, on the phone is Hall of Famer
Mr. USA,
Tony Atlas.
How you good friend.
Good to see you, my friend. Good to hear from you.
Good to see you. Wow,
well, good to hear from you.
You do have magical powers.
How you doing out there, man? How's everything going, Tony?
Terrible.
What's going on?
What?
Well, I shouldn't have done it. But I went down to the zoo.
What?
And I clammed into the baboon cage.
No.
And I tried to kiss a baboon.
What?
How'd that go?
The baboon rejected me.
Oh.
Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever been rejected by a baboon?
I can't say I have.
I have not, but I've never attempted.
That is not a good feeling.
Did you bring some gum? To maybe it was your breath. I mean, what?
No, I like a baboon because if you look at him, they're very respected. If you look at him from behind, you look like his brain is coming out of his rectum. I mean, you're talking to a guy that let women kick him in the face with a tennis shoe. Come on now.
Yeah, this is true.
You're in a nut house now, so
Nut house now.
Tony, I got to tell you, I can't wait till you come into the area. You're going to be doing an event with one of our sponsors in Port Jefferson, TAG, which is an art gallery. We're looking forward to that.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you.
It's going to be great. So, Tony, we spoke last Friday, and you got a bunch of people watching right now. Real quick before, how's the audio, Matt? Got some guys saying the audio is not great.
It is not great.
What do I need to do? Hold on, people. Hang out, Tony. Hold on.
First, we all need to stop rushing and just relax. I'm in no hurry.
All right. I just want to make sure your audio is good. Hang in there, buddy.
Let me walk in here and make sure my one-ton soup is warmed up yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matty Ice's backside. He's slick. He went to another. Wait a minute. What are the fans looking at?
I wish I was drinking right now. All right, how does this sound, Matty?
Testing.
All right, Tony, all right, so Tony, I know we're not rushing, but we had some fans here. Obviously, you have a relationship with the Boston Wrestling YouTube channel. You're on there a lot. People love you. As you know, people love when you come on this show also. We spoke on Friday. There was something going on the internet. Can you tell the people... Matt, are we all right? Hold on, Tony. Hold on. Are we okay?
Nope.
All right, hold on, Tony. The audio's not great. I want to make sure everybody can hear what you're saying.
Okay.
This will happen sometimes, folks. I'm sorry with the microphone in. Hold on.
Yeah, with me too. Sometimes I have gas, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Yeah, I got a funny butt.
What'd you have for lunch, baboon? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, you ate some baboon. All right.
You know, baboon have very sexy feet, right, Tony? Baboons?
No, see, I'm not into feet.
Oh, you're not? Oh, that's right. You're into shoes. Shoes.
Sneakers. I got a
Sneakers.
$1 fetter.
He's into sneakers. So it's sneakers. It's not high heels or anything.
No, he's into like the shoes.
Oh, he's into all sorts of different shoes. How do you feel about flip-flops, Tony?
No.
No?
No, slip on.
All right, so Tony, they're telling me the sound is good. So let's get back to this.
Yeah, okay.
You called me on Friday. I asked you what was going on with the social media. The fans want to know, why will they not see Tony Atlas on the Boston Wrestling, and if I'm saying the channel wrong, I apologize, Wrestling Federation?
When I was a kid, I used to walk to and from the gym every day. Then I met this lady. She said, Tony, you know you can say yourself a lot of time if you just catch the bus. What bus? She said, come on, I'll show you. This lady walked up to the bus station, And at that time, we're like 5 cents. You give a guy 5 cents. He took me downtown. The bus station the bus stop was only 1 block from my house, and he dropped me right by the YMCA. I walk up the hill. I could work out. So all the energy I used to use walking, I found out about that bus.
Okay.
Then when I got into wrestling, George Scott, the guy that trained me, my mentor, my true father, George Scott, my true father, was Scotsman, used to be the Fran Scott's brothers. And he was a booker in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling back in the 70s. Great booker. He's the one that really created WCW and everything. I mean, he created Ric Flair, all these stars, Rick Steamboat. George Scott was a very brilliant man. But he knew my background and everything, so he became more like a dad to me than a promoter or a booker or anything else. George Scott said, Tony, you have to become independent. Because if you don't take care of you, nobody else will. And so he said, you got to get a car. He said, in this business, you just need a pair of trunks, a pair of boots, a car, and a telephone. That's all you needed when I first started. So I said, oh, okay. So I went and did what George Scott did. Then I became a little independent. I went where I want to go and didn't have to depend on people to take me nowhere. Didn't have to walk, didn't have to take no bus. I had a car. So then I learned a lot of other stuff. I went to WWE back in 2008. And it's a thing that was, I went back to I traveled with Mark Henry. And then when I came back, I was the gym that I used to work at that I had to quit because I had under contract with Vince. The guy said, Tony, you just went with Vince for 1 week and you on the internet already. I said, what? What the hell? What the hell I do? So anyway, he took me in. He turned on his computer. I never paid no attention to them that gun computers. He turned on his computer and he said, look, there's you. And I was fussing with Mark Henry. And guess what we were fussing over?
What?
Mark Henry had no maps in his car. I'm going, Mark, how in the hell are we going to find our way on the highway? You ain't got no map. Mark Henry's going, Tony, we don't use maps no more. We got a GPS. I said, GP what? He said, GPS. I said, oh, Mark, come on now. Everybody, I ain't trusting that damn machine. I need a map. So somebody was taping this because it was funny as shit to them. And we standing by the truck taking our bags out, and I'm fussing with Mark in it. So what I did, I walked all the way to some place that some of the wrestling fans told me, and I bought me a map. So Mark Henry started laughing at me. He said, Tony, he said, I tell you what, when we get to the next town, you get your own rental car, I get a rental car, I use my GPS, you use your map, and see who get there the first. I learned about that daggum GPS. Then I got, Mark Henry said, the office told me to tell you, Tony, you need a cell phone. I said, what? I got a home phone. I don't need no cell phone. More money. Mark Henry said, Tony, come on, man. You need a cell phone. The office need to be able to get a hold of it. They got to send you email. They email you your ticket. I said, why they can't drop it off in the mailbox? Mark Henry said, no, Tony, there's no more mailbox. You have to, they're going to email you your ticket. Okay? So finally, I got one of these deck-gum cell phones. That's why I had an email when I worked with WWE. Once I got rid of WWE, I went back to being Tony again. Then the coronavirus hit. And then people started calling me to do these virtual stuff. Everything was over the computer. I had so many shows booked, and I don't know how many times And I'm sure my story is no different than any other old timer out there. A guy will call you up, give you a date. We'll give you a date. Then a week or two later, well, I'm sorry, Tony, this and that, we can't do the show, but, we got you man for the future. Don't worry about it. You still with us. You stick with us, you'll be fought through silk.
Sure.
I hear that so many times.
Sure.
Then I started thinking, George Scott said, if you don't take care of you, nobody else will. You need to be independent in this business. I listen more to my mom now that she is deceased than I did when she was living. I listen more to my father, the only father I ever knew, George Scott, more now than I did when he was living. This man didn't know me. He's from Canada. He took me off the street, made me a star, protected me. I remember the old time wrestlers used to always talk about, they said, George liked him. I hear that all the time back in the 70s. George Scott likes him. Vince would have never took me back if it wasn't for George Scott. And if you notice, when Vince fired George Scott from WWF, and George Scott got a job down in Texas as the booker, I went with him. That's when the Black Superman came up. I guess all this stuff. But anyway, getting back to what you asked me. You know how Tony is. I ramble a lot. But anyway, the coronavirus. Well, first, let me back up a little bit. The first thing that happened in my life, my wife had a stroke.
Okay.
The woman that saved my life. And I'm going to tell all y'all this. I would have died 31 years ago. Y'all be talking about the late Tony Atlas if it wasn't for Monica. This woman was walking home one day, saw me sleeping on a park bench in the snowstorm. Winds 40 to 50 miles per hour. Temperature in the 20s. And I'm laying on a park bench. I knew more millionaires than Rockefeller and couldn't get a fucking quarter. That's why so many freaking Americans are so freaking pissed off. I watch the TV. The only freaking time I hear any politician fuss about how much money the government is spending when they want to spend it on us. Yeah, I want my $1,400. Fucking yeah, I pay taxes. If I was from another country, you give it to me. You give me a hell of a lot more. You understand? We take care of every freaking body but us. We shouldn't be having no hard time. We number one, we did that. They're talking about infrastructure. Yes, fix the freaking infrastructure. You ever went upstate New York? It takes me an hour to get across the fucking George Washington Bridge. Are you ripping me? Yeah, we need to put money into us. We need to think about us. So, getting back, you know how Tony is. I've been drinking, y'all. So I tell all your fans, Marty, tell all your fans, Tony been drinking. Go ahead, Marty.
Tony's been drinking, people. Tony's been drinking.
I love you, brother.
No, I love you too, brother.
I love you. Loosen my ass up before I get too tight.
Tony, don't feel...
Right now, Marty, I'm tighter than an ass stretched over a bass drum. That's tight, brother.
I hear you.
Yeah, but getting back to what you and the fans been waiting all night to hear, my wife had a stroke. She went to the hospital. And they they told me for the rest of her life she's gonna need 24-hour care. She could never be left alone again. And she was there for me when nobody else was. She looked at me that day and she said this to me: if you need a place to stay, you can stay with me. If you need a place to stay, you can stay with me. Didn't ask me for nothing. She brought me home. Now, man, then we're going to go over the time, Marty, that you wanted me to do, but let me talk about it. I ain't got long on this earth, okay?
It's all yours. You okay with that, right, Farrell?
Yeah.
With all of my friends dead, I don't have long on this earth.
Don't be in a hurry to go, Tony. Slow down, brother. But yeah, go on, man.
All right. Thank
bro.
you, my brother. I love you to death.
You too, bro.
Anyway,
and you're not alone drunk, by the way.
It bothered me. This is my wife.
Sure.
This is my wife. I've never been with a white woman a day in my life. Never. It was bad for my career. So when I saw a white woman, I ran from her. I got a fucking full from her as I possibly can. Because I know I've been in this business. I know what's going on. If my mom said, fuck the dumb shit. We know what the real deal is, okay? Let's get, we're grown up now.
Sure.
If grown-ups cannot discuss problems sensibly and honestly, then we're not grown yet. We're just kids in men's and women's bodies.
Understood.
Yeah. I'm an old man now. I ain't got long to live. I'm going to tell you what I got to say now. That's a good thing about being old. You don't give a shit what you say anymore. That's why I love Trump. That's why I love Trump. People say, Tony, why you like Donald Trump? I mean, he's old. You ever know how we talk to an old person and tell you, they say, go help yourself real quick?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, brother, we know we ain't got long here.
Well, that's us.
Yeah, that's right. You're going to learn that too one day.
I'm not in a hurry. Wait, slow down. I'm not in a hurry. Wait.
There ain't no hurry. It's coming. And you know what happens when you get old? You're going to look back and you're going to say, damn.
That was quick.
Yes. Yes. It feels like yesterday.
Yep.
But anyway, getting back, so she took me in. She took my clothes. She threw them out the window. Why do you think she done that?
Because you're Mr. USA and she wanted to see you in the nude?
No, I ain't took a fucking shower in a year and a half.
My God. Oh,
what? Stop and think for 1 minute. If you homeless, where you gonna take a shower?
Very true. Very true. Oy.
Stop. Grow up.
Oh, God.
When people look at homelessness, they forget where they gonna take a shower. Where you take a shit. What you wipe with.
Right. Sure.
I lived that.
Sure. Understood.
I lived it for a year and a half. Until this woman came along. And said, you can stay with me. I slept on her kitchen floor on blankets. Vomited. All over myself. My stomach couldn't hold food. She started to feed me. She tried to fatten me up the front. Woman made me vomit. I vomited for a week. And this woman held me in her arms, set up, and this woman worked. Got up, had to be at work at 7 in the morning. She had no car. She never drove. She's from Germany. She walked to work and walked back. And the walk was 1 mile. She walked a mile to work and a mile back. The place she worked at Clover Mountain. If you ever come to Maine, you look at Main Street, you look it on the map. I can give you the address, you can map it all out. It's a mile. And she did it every day. She came home and she fell out. She had a daughter that she raised here by herself. She'd been raped multiple times. Because we take advantage of other people because we think they are less than us. She couldn't speak English good, so when she came to New York, when she first came here, the people took advantage of her. And when I met her, I told her, nobody is ever going to take advantage of you again. You are my woman from here on out. She faced racism. They told my wife when she married me, why you married that disgusting ass nigger? That's what they told my wife. My wife said, I'm not used to this. We don't have this in Germany. I said, you kidding me? She said, no, Germans are not racist. I didn't believe her. I went to Germany. Guess what? They're not racist. If I hit the lottery right now today, I'd move to Germany. Right now today, I would treat it like gold there. I was treated like gold when I went to the Middle East. Kuwait, they treat me like gold. Japan, they treat me like gold. England, they treat me like gold. These are all the things that, see, what happened with me and Dan got nothing. Let me set the record straight on Dan right now, okay? You ready?
Sure. Ready.
Dan is a wonderful person. Hard-working, dedicated. Just ain't got enough money to do what he want to do. Great idea, just don't have the financial backings. You hear him many times say, we need to keep these wrestlers working, and that's what he wanted to do. He really, really, really wanted to do this. You got another guy, John Callahan, MJ Collection. He really, really want to do.
By the way, he's a sponsor of the show, Tony.
Yeah, you got Mario Mancini. Really, really, really want to do. You got Joe Brewer. We know this. The problem is they can't afford us. You know that, Marty.
Yep.
A wrestler got to make a living. But let's say, for example, I'm just going to throw some numbers out, not no exact figure. Let's say you offer a wrestler $500 to do something. When the wrestler is driving, he's going to spend at least $250 to $300 to get there and back home. So to that wrestler, that's a $200 payday. See, when I said Dan paid me $200, I thought he ducked my expense. He paid me $200.
Mm-hmm.
5 turned into 2 real quick. What happened when this virus hit, I used to get a rental car. I used to get a good deal. Nobody used to brag about it. If I wanted for one day, I got it for $50. If I wanted for the weekend, I got it for $120. Guess what happened? After the virus. That car cost me $90 now. Boston is only 120 miles from me and Dad.
Mm-hmm.
But it cost me $150 to go there and come back home now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tony, if I can ask you...
You want to use it... Remember the what's called the... see, like I said, this got nothing to do with Dad.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I can't afford to work with him anymore. And he can't afford to pay me more. He's tried his best. He tried. God bless me. That man bust his fucking ass. He's a great guy. I love Dad. I just can't work for him no more at them prices. And he can't pay me no more.
Understood.
If he pay me more, I got to do more work. To do one of these drawings that everybody always asks me to do, if you know that they dots, how long you think to put them many fucking dots together?
Yeah.
Days. Days, my brother. Look at your picture. How long you think it took me to do one of them?
Mm-hmm. Long time. Long time.
Long time. So, well, let me try to sum this up and so the fans could really understand what I'm getting at. So anyway, I learned about the bus. I learned about cars. I learned about cell phone. Then the virus hit. All my shows got canceled. And then George Floyd. And then George Floyd. I said, Tony, every time you leave, you go into neighborhoods where people don't know you. You got out-of-town plates. When you get stopped, they're going to shove a gun in your face. It's not safe for you to be out there no more. What if you get stopped, Tony? Will you be living tomorrow? So when I'm doing a show now, I have to look at my life is on the line. Now, if they fly me, I'm safe as a but I don't fly. They drive. I have to drive. I could get stopped. Then I'm dead. I'm a dead man. I'm a big black man with 21.5-inch arms. What if I meet a 180-pound prick? What's going to happen to Tony Atlas? You tell me. When I go home that night?
Tony, can I ask you something? You worked with that Boston Wrestling. I'm assuming for a little over a year. Are you startled that after just a couple of weeks of not being on the show with him that he's gone public? Because I wouldn't even know about this honestly if I hadn't heard him, kind of taking shots at you. And I thought to myself, wow. Is that all Tony Atlas is afforded, is a couple of weeks before somebody goes public and starts firing shots at him? You worked with him for a year. Were you taken aback by that at least, or?
No.
Okay.
No. To be honest with you, no. See, when I got, you'll probably hear about this guy called Larry Hunt. Now, Larry Hunt, so people know who he is, he used to run shows up here in Maine. And he did the carnivals and stuff. Me and Larry worked together. The pay was not a big pay, but Larry come by, pick me up at my house. My wife loves him. We like family. I've been knowing Larry for 20 years. 20 years, okay? So I stopped promoting, and Larry took over where I left off at up here in Maine. Mainers are different people than anywhere you want to go. We kind of like one big family up here. There's no black people in Maine. There's no white people in Maine. There's no rich people in Maine. There's no poor people in Maine. There's no gay in Maine. Maine is the way life should be. And when I first came to Maine, this little kid saw me, and he told his dad about it. So I went in my house. I had an apartment there, me and my wife. And the kid knocked on the door. My wife said, "Somebody want to see you." And my wife had this big glowing smile on the face because she loved kids, and animals and flowers and all that. The first day I met my wife, she had me out there planting them freaking rose bushes every freaking way, that dumb woman. But anyway, I unlocked my door, I signed the kid autograph, we took a picture together, and the father turned to me and he asked me this: "Why you lock your door?" I said, "Told you lock yours." Damn it, said over here my life, And he said, "Only when I'm out of town or go to sleep." I go, whoa.
Hey, Tony, let me ask you a question. Some fans are out there saying,
I don't want to leave Maine.
Let me ask you.
And I'm going to tell you, what I'm trying to do for me right now, I'm trying to fix it so I don't have to work for nobody but me. I don't want to leave no more. I don't want to end up like George Floyd.
So what about...
It ain't about Dad. I know Dad started it and everything, but it's about my life. I
put
my life on the line going to these shows now. I know that now.
Tony, I understand.
If that don't wake me up, nothing will. I don't want to die.
I got you.
That's why I don't want to go to Boston anymore. No offense to you guys. I don't want to come there anymore unless I absolutely have to.
Understood.
I don't want to. George Floyd, my wife having a stroke, the coronavirus made Tony Atlas think the best freaking thing for Tony Atlas to do is keep his black ass home.
So did you think you should have reached out to Dan and say, "Hey, Dan, I just don't want to travel anymore because of everything that's gone"?
Brother, don't you think I did?
Okay. And what was his response?
Brother, nobody listened to me. I'm black. Did anybody listen to Obama? Very intelligent man. Nobody, he's black. Nobody listen to what black people got to say.
Yeah.
It's been like that. We all gotta freaking grow up. How many times? Now, okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. If Dan Morella had fired Tony Adams, would we be talking about it?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
If this black man fired me, then you talk about it?
Well,
you only talk about it when somebody fired the promoter. This is probably the first time in history that the wrestler got to fire the promoter. Most times when the promoter fired wrestler, nobody give a crap. Nobody cares about us. All of us wrestlers have to learn to care about ourselves. What happened when Dan Morella ain't around no more? Who gonna feed Tony Atlas? What happened with Marty and the Fire? You know how many times people call me and give me freaking shows and cancel on me?
Yeah.
How many times you think that happened in my life?
Countless.
Imagine a lot.
Countless.
Thank you.
Sure.
Well, let me ask you this.
George Scott, see, this is not about Dan, even though people try to make it like Dan. It's not. I love Dan. I like Dan just as much as I like you guys.
Oh, really?
Dan helped me out a lot.
He's jealous.
He did the best he could. But I found out that I could do better by myself. Now, what's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing.
Larry, this guy, see, these kids, the problem is my daughter and these young folks. This is the problem. It ain't about that, but these young people that like Tony Adams are telling Tony Adams about all this. It's like that lady told me about the bus. It goes back to, Tony, you don't have to walk. My daughter been saying this to me for years.
Well, Tony, I got a question.
My wife been saying this to me for years. And if I'm going to tell you something, if it wasn't for the coronavirus, Tony Atlas would not be on Facebook. If it wasn't for Mark Henry, Tony Atlas wouldn't even have a fucking cell phone. You wouldn't be talking to me that one for Mark Henry.
Right.
No, I understand.
Right.
Look, can I ask you this?
I just learned that I can take care of Tony. You know how America's always talking to people about take care of yourself, do your own thing?
Right.
No, that ain't what they mean. When they say go to work, what they mean is go to work for me, not for you.
Understood.
And then as soon as somebody decide that I could do better on my own. What that old saying, y'all smarter than me. I'm just an old hillbilly from the hills of Virginia. That if you give a man a meal or if you teach him to fish, how did that go?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know that one.
When it's something down south, they say, your fans will tell you, somebody out there that listen to this know exactly what I'm trying to say. If you give a man a meal, he get one meal, pretty much what it's saying. But if you teach the man to fish, he get many meals.
Well, here in New York, we say if you give an inch, you take a mile.
If you give a man a check, when the check runs out, the man is done. If you teach a man a trade, he can make his own check. There's always this conflict when the workers decided to work for themselves. See, I live in Maine, and I think what is happening, I'm becoming a Mainer. See, Mainer, pretty much most of Maine is all small businesses. Everybody up here is a small business. I know all the business owners up here. The only government jobs up here is the police department, fire department, and the hospital. Everything else is all small businesses. We don't have big corporate businesses up here. We got a few like Walmart and, McDonald's, just, the basic, but we don't have a lot of corporate, everything is all small business. When I go to eat, I go to all these small businesses to eat. When I shop, I shop in places people never even heard of before. I went today and got me some fried oyster at Mac Seafood on Mammoth Avenue. The best seafood on the planet.
By the way, Tony, James Earl Cash says, teach a man to fish and he'll know how to feed himself. So I think that's what you're trying to get.
Hey, when we get off this phone, I want you to text that to me so I don't mess it up.
So Tony, I want
text that to me when you get chased.
All right. So Tony, I want the fans to understand you don't have a problem with Dan. You've just decided to do your thing.
I wish him all the best. But I told Dan I'm very busy on developing something for myself. What's going to happen if somebody called me for a show and then they cancel me? What happens if we get another COVID shutdown and all the shows get canceled again? I mean, we're all looking for WrestleMania and all that. What if all that shit gets shut down again? Now what Tony going to do?
So, but basically, Tony, there's no heat. You've just decided to sever your relationship, and you wish him the best, right?
Well, see, Dad got pissed off because he had a lot of stuff planned for me. I understand that. So, there's two sides to every story. He was hoping that he could get more out of me. And I was thinking, I don't want to die in Melrose. George Floyd changed a lot for me. Y'all got to remember, I'm not white. I see this stuff, man. Let me tell you something that I saw on TV that really woke me up. When Joe Biden was having that meeting there with Putin and China, did you see that on TV?
Go on.
And he was saying something about human rights to that Chinese president. Human rights, right?
Yep.
The guy told Joe Biden, look into the mirror.
Died 2 days later, just 42 years old. Up next.
Before you talk. See, what we got to realize today, whatever you say and do. When I did my first virtual, I got one guy from Ireland, from Germany, from England, to buy my artwork. We are being watched not only by Americans, but the world. Everything we do, everybody see. Going back to Mark Henry, I learned that in 2008 with old Mark Henry. I was talking about a map. It's on the freaking internet. A map. A map.
Yeah.
That's it. Who the fuck cares about Tony Adams getting a map? But it was enough to put all over the internet. So whatever we say and do, let the world sit and watch. And we set the example, and we are the example setter. That's why I would never, as long as I live, never talk bad on air of any American president. I wouldn't do that. That's stupidity. It's like go to the Atlanta Hawk and tell them that the New England Patriot quarterback got a bad arm. Wonderful, thank you. See, in the older days, they used to have spies, like 007.
Yep.
007, yeah, James Bond. You don't need no spy no more.
Hey, Tony.
All you need is a computer.
One last question before we go. Did you no-show Dan, or did you tell him you weren't coming?
What do you mean no-show? I wasn't booked for nothing.
People are claiming that you no-showed his show last week, and that's how this whole thing started. Or did you just tell him, hey, I'm not doing this anymore?
Brother. You just told me how it started.
Yeah, okay.
You just told me. Dad told you. I got a computer. That was started it. Tony Atlas found out that he could be independent.
Understood.
That's what started everything.
How dare you, Tony, thinking you're independent?
That's why I told you my story. It goes back to the bust. BUS. I learned I could catch a bus to go downtown when it's raining, or when it's cold, or when it's snowing. I didn't have to walk in the rain. Didn't have to walk in it. I could catch a bus. George Scott told me, Tony, you could get a car. You don't have to depend on other people to drive you. Mark Henry said, Tony, you can get a rental car. Remember, I used to, well, y'all don't because I didn't work for you guys yet. Mark Henry told me about the cell phone. Technology did this. Got nothing to do with Dan. The coronavirus did this. George Floyd. If you was big and black like me, would you want to go somewhere? Be honest.
Me? No. I wouldn't.
Yes, no.
If I was big and black, I'd faint.
All right, Tony.
I'm small and
Tony.
I'm small. I'm
I'm
small and pale.
Hey, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. If you was big and black like me, you would never disappoint a woman inside.
That's for sure.
All right?
Oh dear Lord!
You would feel that cage.
Tony, we're going to let you go. I want to thank you for joining us. We love you, and I'm going to see you soon. I really appreciate you coming on and clearing the air.
Look, I'm going on. Dan is okay. It's just that I figured out that it's easier for me. Y'all got to realize, do you think I'm young?
No, I don't. Well, I think you're in great shape, but
Hey, brother, when you become a senior citizen,
Oy.
you don't want to do shit.
Oy. I can wait. I can wait.
all right, Tony, have a great.
You don't know what I'm saying. You ain't going to understand nothing I said until 30 years from now.
Oy.
I will. All right, Tony.
You feel what I feel.
Tony, we're going to let you go. I'll talk to you during the week, my friend.
I know you're mad at me. You won't talk to me no more. Good night. Love all of you guys. Hey,
I love you.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. I love you, brother.
Hey, you got telling me to sing to the fans?
They love you, too. Happy Easter to the fans. You want to tell them?
No, I want to sing to them.
Oh God.
Go ahead, brother.
Oh,
You're
God.
on.
Hit it.
All right.
Oh boy.
Amazing grace, how sweet was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. God bless the people of you. Good night.
God bless you,
Good
brother.
night, Mr. USA.
Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. Well, I appreciate the fans watching. Look, want to discuss it real quick?
Sure.
Got a lot of fans out there
Sure.
siding with Dan, a lot of fans siding with Tony.
Tony's over it
In fact, I
already.
want to address
That's
one
what I
fan
took.
out here.
He's over it.
And I think it's important. JC never quits. He put M&P fakeness siding with Tony, losers.
What?
First of all, here's the
Because we
situation.
let him talk?
Here's the situation.
Okay. You're a winner too, Tommy Typewriter. Go
So
on.
my point here is, it looks like Tony didn't want to work for the salary he was being offered and decided to call it a day.
Right.
Dan, on the other hand, runs a business, and a huge part of his business, I assume, is Tony Atlas.
So it's
right?
a decent chunk of his videos
Okay.
lately.
So-
Sure. Okay. From what we saw.
All right.
Sure.
So the point is,
Okay.
is that you've got an impasse. So there's no good, bad, or bad guy in this. There's no good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
It's I don't want to do business with you anymore.
Right.
But hey,
Right.
you know, I expect you to do business with me, and
Right.
no, I don't. And then there's
Right.
probably some hard feelings.
Right. Right.
There's some points that some fans brought up I thought that were great. That, hey, you know, how does he afford Marty Jannetty when he can't afford Tony? Mm-hmm. How does he afford John Senior?
Sure.
John
Cena's father.
Senior, right?
Sure.
When he can't, or Tatanka,
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
I don't know. I have no.
Right.
I have no idea.
Right.
I have no idea.
Right. Well, I tell you what, Tommy Typewriter, when you get your own show, you can ask your own questions, but you don't have one, do you? Anyway, there you go. That was interesting, and we got to hear Tony sing, too.
Do you feel I'm right in what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. The way I see it is that, by the way, Tony is, and for those who like to call people names on keyboards, you might take something from Tony. You could tell already Tony has no ill will Tony made a business decision.
I agree.
And Tony moved on. He could have come on and called this Dan fellow every name in the book, did he? No. Did he take the high road? Yes. And this name caller out there wants me and you to attack him. You attack him. Get your own show. You're a tough guy on the keyboard.
Russell Campbell says, preach, Jimmy, preach.
No, it is what it is.
Here's
Look,
the deal.
Again, I'm not going to lose any sleep when we get the 98 thumbs up and the 2 thumbs down because, I'm not going to lose any sleep over you.
Again, I just thought...
Thank you, Russell.
We are personal friends with Tony. He's a good man. He's always been good to us.
Yes.
He reached out to me and told me there was a problem.
Right.
We discussed it like friends do.
Right.
I asked him to come on.
Right.
Because I didn't want fans to think ill will of him.
Sure.
Because I had heard some things that were being said about him.
Sure.
And if it was a fact that he didn't, showed him and promised to be there.
Right.
I don't know if that.
Right.
I believe what Tony told me.
Right.
So my whole point is this. There's an impasse. The relationship is over.
Right.
I'm sure Dan will do well with his show without Tony. I'm sure Tony will do well.
Right.
I mean, we are talking about a Hall of Famer.
Right.
An actual...
And I know for a fact that if this had ever happened with us and a wrestler, I know for a fact there's one thing we wouldn't have done. We wouldn't have gone public. We would have talked to him privately about it. We certainly wouldn't have started going public, if you understand what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
At least in the past, I haven't seen that really be our, MO unless, somebody really gave us a drilling. And we don't know them well.
Listen, I love 802
But Tony, we know well.
I love 802 Blues. He's
compared to some of the wrestlers.
He's always supporting our show 802,
yes,
okay?
I'm aware.
But he certainly is a Dan or a Boston
That's
wrestling
fine.
fan. He's upset with what's going on. I want to tell you this.
That's fine.
Okay? 802, I don't know if maybe there's some uncomfortable situation where that Tony doesn't want to talk to him anymore. I don't know.
Okay.
But I think we have to respect the fact that Tony wants to move on.
Right.
And that's what we have to do.
Right. I still don't understand the public going after him. You worked with him for a year plus. You certainly must value each other.
I think Dan jumped the gun.
But why do that?
There's no need to.
Well, we wouldn't have even known about it.
I understand.
I mean, none of us would even be talking about this if he had kept it private with him and Tony. And again, Tony's not the one to go charging to a keyboard. Let me write some stuff. So
I want to leave it with this, and I want the fans to understand this. I'm just going to say this because Tony didn't. 6 hours of taping.
Yeah.
$200.
Right.
6 hours of video cut.
Right.
In premieres.
Right.
Right. Viewership paid by YouTube.
Right.
200 hours. 6 hours of taping.
Right.
That's all I want to say about this.
Right.
That's the only facts that I know.
Right.
Okay? Again, if you make an agreement with someone and that's what you want to do, that's great. Fine. Do it. Mm-hmm. All right? But eventually you decide it's not a good deal for you anymore, you shouldn't have ramifications from that.
No.
6 hours of taping for $200.
Right.
That's not including transportation. It's not including food. It's not including lodging. And I'm not saying, well, that was part of it. $200. 6 hours of taping.
Does I don't even know if Dan even realizes what the rates are here in New York. That is like, you're giving him nothing.
That's not up for me to decide. That's their business
what I'm
agreement.
saying,
but
though.
I understand your point.
You know, that's what I'm pointing that out because you pointed out the numbers. And I know damn well in New York, what are you kidding? An hour, I don't even want to get into it, but oh my God, that's really low pay,
George 31531, how much should we pay Tony to call in today? We paid him absolutely nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Tony is appearing at one of our sponsors, Tag, in May for a festival. So Tony's going to be down there, and that sponsor is paying Tony to come down. So,
I mean, what is the point anyway? Like, would you pay Tony for the phone call? First of all, we didn't. But second of all, when you have a show, guys, I don't want to shock some of you out there. It's not free. You have to invest money into it. You have to have sponsors. You have to be able to do things, supply cash to do what we do for you every week. So, yeah, no, we didn't have to pay Tony for the phone call. But in the future, if you see somebody calling in from Skype, maybe we did. It's a business decision.
Right.
This is a business. Oh, God, guys, do we have to explain everything?
No.
Sometimes I feel like we do.
Well, I think
Tony had to explain this just now.
I think you did a good job.
I'm trying.
And people are going to believe what they're going to believe.
Of course. Of course.
Real quick, we're almost out of time. I just want to get your viewpoints on the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
2020, Batista gone, right? Not in there. JBL, Bella Twins, Jushin Thunder Liger, British Bulldogs, the NWO.
Right.
2021, Molly Holly, Eric Bischoff, Kane, and the Great Khali, William Shatner, and Rob Van Dam.
Right.
Thoughts on that?
Totally thrilled about Rob Van Dam, obviously. He's one of probably my top 5 all-time favorites, and I'm just thrilled for him. A celebrity, I couldn't think of anyone I love more than William Shatner. He's Captain Kirk, so I'm happy about that. The Great Khali we discussed already. Kane is a no-brainer. I saw what you wrote, the Bella Twins over Moolah. Look at you.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not high on the Bella Twins, but I understand why they're going in.
Real quick, I want to answer James Earl Cash.
Yeah.
So, James, you wrote Monty Nefaro. Are you familiar with Don Tony? I think you'd be interested if Monty Nefaro had Don Tony as a guest. So, guys, we don't want to be a podcast. We want to be a broadcast.
Right.
We got into this just to have fun, and it's kind of took a leg of it, a life of its own. We got a bunch of sponsors.
Sure.
I don't want to compare ourselves to a Don Tony. I will give you my opinion though.
Okay.
Of Don Tony.
I'm not interested. But
I think the
in
guy.
your opinion,
I think the guy is a very well-spoken guy.
Okay.
I think he knows his wrestling.
Really. Okay.
But personally, I don't like him.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go. Fine.
So I do know about him.
Yeah.
But personally, I don't like him.
Yeah. I mean, if I can give my disclaimer, I don't get involved in anything local.
Absolutely.
I talk to you privately about what we would like to do for the show. I'm always thinking big, like you're always trying to,
Hall of Fame is a joke without Tenta in it. Well, I'll tell you this. I look forward to the Hall of Fame all the way.
The Hall of Fame is the Hall of Fame, and trust me, when they get in, they're pretty damn happy.
James Earl, you're asking why I don't like Don Tony. I'll just give it to you in a nutshell. And I don't want to keep talking about this, bro, so I apologize.
I don't really. I'm good either way.
The few times I have watched, first of all, I know a little bit about Don Tony's past. Mr. Big have told me a few things about him, right?
Interesting.
So Mr. Big's been in that land.
Right.
That's number one.
Okay.
So the things he's told me about Don Tony on a personal level, I didn't like.
Mr. Big's a
number
good guy.
two,
He's a good
on
guy.
a few shows
Mr.
I
Big.
did listen to Don Tony on. I'm not a big fan of someone that just tries to get himself all over, right? We're trying to do a show to entertain the people. Whether we entertain you or not is that's up to be questioned, right?
Yeah, that's
but we're not about getting
viewer's
ourselves
choice.
over. I'm not a big fan of people that try to get themselves over. So, James, I don't know if that upsets you, but that's what I'm telling what I think.
Hey, James, you're allowed to like both shows too.
James
I'm
says,
cool with
sorry
that.
I brought it up. Yeah, me too. Sorry about that.
If you like both shows, that's fine too. Just like us a little more, please. Thanks, bro.
So we posted today on social media that now we've been we're elite.
We are the elite. April Fool.
So it's an April Fool's joke, everybody. We are not part of the
so
elite.
mean of you. I was believing it. I called you at 6:07, woke you and the missus up. I heard the plates being thrown at you.
There you
Why
go.
is the Pharaoh calling at 6:00? We're elite. We're elite. No, we're not. You idiot. It's April 1st.
I would like everybody to join us this Saturday from 10 to 12. We're very excited. We're having WWE Money Inc. in studio. It's going to be a big one. Ted DiBiase, along with IRS.
Are you bringing a basketball?
Right now, where we
Are you
don't
bringing
know
a
if
basketball?
we're going. By the way, Mr. E-Face, WWE Hall of Fame without Cyndi Lauper is garbage.
There you go.
I can totally agree with that.
Now,
thank you for that
That
comment.
is way more valid than Earthquake.
Now, here lies the issue.
Although Earthquake, I would like
Here
to see
lies
it.
the issue, and I don't know.
I would like to see Earthquake in.
Rumor has it that Cyndi Lauper has turned it down numerous times.
I believe it.
And if that is the case,
I believe
there's
it.
nothing we can do
Boy,
about
that
it.
sucks.
But boy, oh boy, would I love her.
Boy,
but
oh
again,
boy. Ay.
Money Inc. in studio. Now, I don't know if we're going to do DiBiase by himself and IRS by himself, or
Okay.
we're probably shooting for them both on the couch together
That's
for a
cool.
2-hour interview.
That's cool.
So we'd love if you all joined us for that. And then on April 8th,
Okay.
we have...
Is that this?
This is this. Can you tell the fans what we got?
I want to say that we're bringing in John Alexander Arizzi, promoting his wonderful book, Matt Memories.
Yep.
It's written by Mr. Arizzi himself, along with Greg Oliver. My Wildlife in Pro Wrestling, Country Music, and with the Mets. Wow.
This
guy is diverse.
That guy has
my God.
one hell of a career. If people don't know who John Arizzi is, he's like a godfather of wrestling events, but he also
wrestled Dusty Rhodes at Madison Square Garden.
Dusty Rhodes.
What?
The guy is unbelievable. Very excited to have him.
There you go.
By the way, Rob Delaney, Ivan Koloff not being in is a joke.
Come on,
but
of
again,
course.
we don't know about,
Of course, I totally agree.
Anyway, I don't want to get too into it. Pharaoh, any parting words for tonight's show? First of all, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank everybody for being respectful on both ends. If you were anti-Dan or anti-Tony, you were respectful, so thank you for that.
Yep.
Again, please go to the www.montyandthepharaoh homepage or webpage. You can order Tony's artwork there. I will tell you that 100% of the proceeds go to Tony Atlas.
Bingo.
We don't take a share of that.
There you go.
Parting words there, Pharaoh.
I just wanted to tell the fans, hey, enjoy who you want to enjoy. There's many things out there on the internet to enjoy, I hope that you enjoyed Tony Atlas saying his piece, and I hope you respect the fact that we let him say his piece. And that's basically it. I mean, if you've noticed with us, when we're alone, sure, we've got our strong opinions, but when we have a guest, he's a guest. We consider him a guest in our home, and we are hosting him, and we allow them to have their say. Okay, so I'm sorry if we don't just go right after somebody because we may disagree with them. That's really not the way the world should work, folks. So just be more patient with people who don't always agree with you, and you might find yourself liking all sorts of things and seeing each other a little more halfway, And that's enough philosophizing. I feel sick right now with all of this. What am I, Gandhi? Get me the hell out of here. Where's my sandals? Anyway.
By the way, watch trains go by respectful, except for me, so I apologize for saying what I did on your platform, for not saying it. Listen, brother, it's all good. People care about everybody out there.
Yeah, we're passionate.
We're about peace and love. Again, we're also about honesty. I got no problem with anybody. I'm a huge fan of all of you guys, and I thank you for coming in and tuning in every week. We love you guys. You guys make the show.
Yep.
And without this guy to the right, there would be no show.
Without this guy to the left, there'd be no show.
And I also want to thank Dan. I don't know Dan personally.
Sure.
But I want to thank Dan for he probably knew this show was going to happen.
Okay.
And there was no bashing or anything like that.
No.
Respect to you, Dan, and respect for everything that you do for these legends of wrestling. We do respect that.
Absolutely.
Anyway, this has been Mike Monty.
This has been the Pharaoh, and until Saturday, get your bank accounts ready. Later.